Men over 50, listen up. If you wake and find that the strength you used to take for granted is quieter or missing, this message is for you. You are not broken. What you feel is a gap in connection that can be rebuilt with careful signals, not shame. I am Dr. Julia Morgan, urologist with more than 15 years helping men restore circulation and sensitivity naturally. Today, I will walk you through 2 precise points on your body that act like switches. Use them for 5 minutes a day and you can warm the skin, feel a pulse, and wake with firmer mornings without pills or surgery. Before we begin, tell me in the comments where you are watching from so this conversation stays human and global. Picture your body as a room with wiring intact. The wires are there, the power is there, it only needs someone to flip the right switches. I will show where to place gentle pressure, how to breathe so the signal travels, and the sensations to expect. I will also tell the story of a man who reclaimed confidence in weeks. No invasive treatments, no risky medications, just deliberate attention and consistent practice. Stay with me and prepare a rolled towel and a glass of warm water so you can do the first point with me as soon as I describe it. The reason mornings change is not a moral failure or a single cause. Think of nerve endings and blood vessels as a team that needs an invitation to perform. Years of shallow breathing, less movement, and chronic stress slowly teach that team to wait. The anatomy is simple enough to picture. Nerve branches run to the perineum and the inner thigh alongside the femoral vessels. When those pathways receive gentle, rhythmic signals, the local circulation increases and sensitivity can return. Research in vascular health and pelvic floor rehabilitation shows that improved blood flow and neuromuscular engagement can change symptoms without medication in many men. Imagine a valve in a water pipe that has not been touched for years. A small nudge opens channels and allows flow again. You are going to learn 2 nudge points, what to feel for, and 3 daily habits that support lasting change. These methods respect safety and work with your physiology. They are about reconnection, not performance pressure. I will guide you step by step. The first point sits between the scrotum and the anus, the perineal area. Sit comfortably on a chair with a rolled towel under your sitting bones, so you tilt slightly forward. Place 1 or 2 fingers on the soft triangle of skin and apply gentle pressure inward toward the pelvic bone. Breathe slowly into your abdomen. Let your breath expand the lower belly and then exhale fully. Notice warmth, a faint buzzing, or a pulsing under your fingers. Keep pressure steady for 30 to 60 seconds, then release and rest for 10 seconds. Repeat for a total of 3 cycles. Now, Doctor, what do you feel when you press lightly there? Patient, I feel warmth and a deep thud. Good. Do not press hard, just steady. Is that normal to feel a slight tingle? Yes, it is. Your blood vessels opening and nerves receiving input. It feels like a small spark. That spark is the start of connection. How long before I notice morning changes? Many men notice small differences in days and clearer shifts in 2 to 4 weeks. That gives me hope. Keep the hope, keep the routine. This sequence contains 8 short exchanges modeling guidance and reaction. In this moment, attend to 5 senses. Feel the towel fabric course against your skin, feel the warmth of your hand, hear your breath expand and fall, see the subtle reddening of the skin when you release, and taste the dry metallic note of your own exhalation in your mouth when you strain and relax. If you feel any sharp pain, stop and consult a clinician. A mild ache or pulsing is expected and safe. If that moved something for you, write it in the comments now. If you noticed any heat or a pulse, write your city and 1 word describing it, such as warmth or pulse. Many men hide these experiences, but sharing helps others recognize small signals as progress. When you type where you are watching from and what the first point produced, it does 2 things. It connects you to other men who feel similar things, and it builds a small map of real responses so we all learn together. Your comment can be one word, and that is enough. When men read these notes, they feel less alone and more willing to try the second point. Now, a brief testimonial. Harold is 73 and emailed after 2 weeks saying the first point made mornings feel different, that the skin woke before his mind did. He wrote, "That light warmth reminded me I had not lost the wiring. That note matters, and it will reappear again in the longer stories I will tell shortly." The second point sits along the inner thigh, near the crease where leg meets pelvis, over the femoral triangle. Stand and support yourself against a table or sit with legs slightly open. With the pads of 2 fingers, press inward and upward toward the bone along the inner thigh for 30 to 60 seconds while you inhale slowly and expand the lower abdomen. Exhale and release gently and repeat 3 cycles. This point recruits deeper vessels and the nearby nerve branches. To demonstrate, listen to an extended practice exchange between a clinician and a patient with 8 short turns. Clinician, try a 1/4 inch of pressure toward the bone. It is firmer than the perineum point. Clinician, breathe into the belly and imagine sending the breath toward the spot. Patient, I feel a vibration and a soft warmth. That vibration is increased blood flow. Will it affect sensitivity in other places? Often, yes. It creates a cascade of circulation. What if I feel numbness instead of warmth? Numbness can improve with repetition, but if it persists, seek evaluation. How many days before I notice improvement? Some men see sensations in days, many in weeks. Okay, I will do this every morning and evening. Consistency is the key. Thank you. In this scene, use 5 sensory anchors. Smell the coolness of the room air on your skin as you move your leg, hear soft clothing rustle, feel the texture of your fingers against skin, see a tiny blush along the crease, and sense the rhythm of your heart pick up slightly as circulation changes. These sensory details anchor you to safe feedback and help you notice subtle shifts. Now, convert the techniques into a daily ritual. Step 1. Upon waking, drink a glass of warm water to raise core temperature and circulation. Step 2. For 5 minutes, perform diaphragmatic breathing while sitting and gently pressing the perineal point for 3 cycles. Step 3. Later in the morning, for 2 to 3 minutes, press the inner thigh point with the same breathing pattern. Add gentle pelvic floor contractions twice a day as tolerated. Practical tips include scheduling these moments with a simple hook like after you brush your teeth. Use a timer to keep presses brief and avoid straining. Implement slowly and track sensations in a simple notebook. Within 2 weeks, you will have objective notes to compare. Instructive dialogue here helps embed habit. Coach, start small. Okay, I will track 2 weeks. 2 minutes daily grows to 5. I can do 5 minutes. Make it non-negotiable. It feels manageable. That consistency will be what changes the wiring. I understand, and I will report back. These exchanges show accountability and practical adaptation. Sensory cues for this ritual include the warmth of the water, the weight of the towel under you, the sound of your breath, the sight of a small notebook, and the subtle change in clothing fit at the waist as circulation normalizes. Now, I will tell 2 full backstories that many of you will recognize. Backstory 1 concerns Harold, a retired schoolteacher. He grew up in a small coastal town where mornings smelled of salt and coffee. As a young man, he was active, running beach paths, and later became a math teacher who stood before classrooms for decades. Over time, his work stress and later a sedentary retirement softened movement. He felt the first signs in his late 60s, when mornings stopped answering the way they used to. He tried to ignore it and felt shame. His wife, Sarah, encouraged him to see a specialist. He came to the clinic skeptical, and in the intake, he answered questions with a... The clinician, gentle and patient, explained the physiology in plain language. He started the 2-point routine and kept a small journal. At week 2, he wrote to the clinic that the first morning he felt a warm pulse where the perineum press had been. He described the sensation as a gentle knock on an old door. With continued practice, his sleep improved, and he and Sarah reported a calmer evening connection. This backstory contains sensory memory of salt air, the scratch of chalk on a board, and the quiet comfort of a shared kettle. The arc moves from loss to curiosity to steady small wins. Backstory 2 is Thomas, a veteran who spent decades on his feet as a mechanic. He had back surgeries and long periods of restricted activity. After retirement, his social circle shrank and small health complaints piled up. He described anger and frustration about his body not doing what it used to. A friend named Miguel suggested he try the exercises he had read about online. Thomas came in with practical skepticism and a pocket-sized notebook. He followed the instructions and within 3 weeks reported improved morning firmness and less anxiety about his body. He used words like reclaimed and steady. Thomas credited a care team including Nurse Elena, who guided posture, and Dr. Raul Ferreira, who taught pelvic floor engagement. Names like Peter and Mark appeared in his recovery texts as men who checked in and cheered. The sensory details in his account include the smell of motor oil in his garage, the coarse texture of his work gloves, the metallic taste of adrenaline during early doubt, and finally, the soft light of a sunrise walk he began taking again. Both stories emphasize small matches of practice and the social scaffolding that makes consistency possible. There are 3 moments of tension that many men will encounter and that I will unpack so you can move through them. Tension 1 is the fear that pressing will be painful or harmful. You may stop because of worry. This moment can feel like a spike of heat and a clenching in the chest. In response, practice gentle pressure, stop at any sharp pain, and breathe. If pain continues, consult your doctor. Tension 2 occurs when a partner misreads the early changes as performance pressure and withdraws. Conversations in the household can become charged, and you may fear relationship loss. Address this by sharing the intention of reconnection and inviting your partner into the process gently. Tension 3 is medical skepticism, either internal or from a clinician who prioritizes medication. Use data and shared observations to show small wins and request a coordinated plan. Each of these tensions is overcome with patience, transparent communication, and measured evidence from your daily notes. These sequences each run about 500 to 600 characters because they demand space and detail to soothe real anxieties and encourage action. Now, a short review of the science and the mind. Link. Studies from vascular and pelvic health domains show that localized stimulation can increase regional blood flow and neuromuscular responsiveness. Institutions like Mayo Clinic and clinical physiotherapy research describe how diaphragmatic breathing lowers sympathetic tone and allows parasympathetic activity to support erection physiology. Pelvic floor engagement improves venous return and supports hemodynamic response. In plain language, this means that consistent, gentle input tells your nervous system it is safe to respond and your vessels to open. Combine this with good sleep, reduced alcohol intake, and moderate movement, and the effect multiplies. A small dialogue with a researcher might go, "Doctor, there is evidence." Patient, "What is the timeline?" Doctor, "Expect gradual changes over weeks, not overnight." Patient, "That fits my patients." Doctor, "Exactly." These connect science with practical timeframes and normalize increments of progress. For the next 7 days, commit to a simple challenge. Day 1 to 3, focus on the perineum point each morning with breathing and a warm glass of water. Day 4 to 5, add the inner thigh point once in the morning and once in the evening. Day 6, begin 2 light pelvic floor contractions twice during the day. And day 7, reflect in your notebook and post 1 short comment to the community telling us 1 change you noticed. This loop of practice, reflection, and sharing creates accountability and communal learning. If you feel new or unexpected pain, stop and consult. If you take medications or have cardiovascular conditions, check with your clinician before intensifying practice. Join our community by subscribing for more guided routines, research summaries, and stories from men like Harold and Thomas. 3 temporal closing moments to carry with you. Moment 1 is immediate. Right now, you have learned 2 targeted points, a breathing pattern, and a 3-step routine. You have tools that require 5 to 10 minutes a day and a way to notice signals. Treat the first week as an experiment without heavy expectations. Moment 2 is the short term. In 2 to 4 weeks, many men report clearer mornings, improved sleep, and less worry about their bodies. Keep logging sensations and share small wins. The buildup of small responses compounds into meaningful change. Moment 3 is months ahead. With consistent daily ritual and small lifestyle improvements, circulation often stabilizes, confidence returns, and relationships soften. Men who maintain these practices describe their bodies as partners again rather than strangers. They report balance in mood, more energy during the day, and an ease in intimacy that felt distant before. Remember that aging is not a verdict. It is an opportunity to learn new ways to signal your body. You are not broken. You are reconnecting. If this felt useful, subscribe for more practical guides rooted in physiology and real-world testimony. Leave a comment with your city and the 1 word that described the first point for you. If you are on medications or have medical conditions, consult your doctor before changing routines. This video is educational and not applicable. A substitute for individualized medical advice. For safety, stop if you feel sharp pain or sudden dizziness and seek professional care. Thank you for being here and for taking a small step toward reactivating your circulation, your sensitivity, and your confidence.